back to the Safe Space Podcast. I'm Sierra.
I'm Tiffany.
And we are very excited for our podcast today.
Yes.
We actually are going to have segments today. We're going to have a full topic and we're going to have a little game that we're going to play at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited to do that with you guys.
Yes.
Okay, so what is our topic today?
The topic is going to be about societal standards for women.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
And also stereotypes as well.
Yes.
But first, on our first segment today, it's gonna be called the Entertainment Hour.
Yes.
And this is where we're gonna talk about different movies, TV shows, and songs and music that's coming out very recently, or it's something that we're interested in.
Yeah.
So we're excited to share that with you guys. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you can go ahead and start.
Okay, so right now it's February 15th. But there's actually a new movie coming out with Millie Bobby Brown. She was on Stranger Things as 11, if you watched that.
Yes.
She's one of my favorite actresses
She was
now.
so good. I loved it.
Yeah, she's so good in it. I fell in love with her in that show. But it's a new movie in Netflix, and it's called Damsel. And it's basically about a young woman who agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to discover it was all a trap.
Ooh.
She is thrown into a cave with a fire-breathing dragon and must rely solely on her wits and will to survive.
Oh, God.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Now, doesn't that sound
Doesn't that sound nice? But I watched the trailer for it. It seems really cool.
Oh, really?
And she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, she's gorgeous. Like,
She
it's
is.
funny how she
So
went
pretty.
from, like, 11 in the show, like, as a little kid, to, like, now being this, like, drop-dead gorgeous girl. Like, I'm like, girl.
Yes.
You got fashion for days, honey.
Yes.
But I'm excited to see that, and it comes out on March 8th on Netflix.
Oh, so soon.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
nice.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's exciting. Do you want to start off with your next one?
So the one I was going to touch on was the new Bob Marley One Love movie. So that actually came out yesterday in theaters. So I'm pretty excited. Like, I really want to see that. But also the movie Madam Web with I think her name's Dakota Johnson. She was in 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
She played Anastasia Steele, and I thought she was really pretty, so I am excited to see what that movie's going to be about. I keep seeing trailers on the TV. I'm like, oh, that looks really cool, you know? So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be a cool movie. Like, I don't really watch Marvel like that, but when it's certain actors
I don't know
and
if it's
stuff,
Marvel or not. I think it could
or just like
be.
yeah,
I'm not
maybe
sure.
like just I don't even know, action movies. I'm not really into usually, but if there's certain actors or actresses that are playing in it, like I would watch it for that, and I definitely would watch her doing it. But yeah, that sounds like a fun movie to watch. I love little cartoons sometimes.
Yeah,
and it
me
was
too.
good. I played the video game on Xbox before, so it was fun. And then as far as music goes, as y'all all know probably, the Yes and single came out by Ariana Grande not too long ago. And
Say that shit with your chest.
And okay, but yeah, her album Yes and is coming out. Well, it's not called Yes and, I guess. Her album Eternal Sunshine will be arriving March 8th as well.
Wow.
So pretty much everything that I am discussing today is on March 8th. So look out for March 8th because all that shit is coming out.
Yes.
But it's exciting, and we're gonna pretty much be watching a lot of things during that time.
Yeah.
Did you have any more things that you'd like to talk about?
The only music thing that I could think of was finding out recently that Taylor Swift is dropping a new album, and it's called The Tortured Poets Department, which that's coming out April 19th. And
That's not too far away.
So excited to see, how it's going to be, what it's going to sound like, because apparently she's been working on it for 2 years.
Damn.
2 years, and that's all while she's been doing the Eras tour and everything.
That's crazy.
And I think that's right after her breakup with that guy Joe Alwyn that she was dating. He was an actor, and he was from London.
That's crazy.
And one of the songs is called Goodbye London or something. So I'm like,
goodbye,
girl,
goodbye.
she's trying to get rid of that damn man. I
And
feel her.
Sometimes you gotta get rid of these damn men because they too damn toxic. And every damn time you try to get your life together, another one try to show up and be like, hey, what's up? honey, what's up is I don't want anything to do with you.
And that always happens to you.
It always happens
way.
to
Yes.
me. It's like I get my mental health back together, and then what happens? A fucking man comes back in.
He's like, hey, I haven't talked to you in several months, but I still really want to get to know you.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like, why did you stop talking to me for 6 months or some shit like that? It was, yeah. In this area, it was a dating app, and
It's always a dating app.
It's always a dating app, but that's why I deleted dating apps. I haven't been on a dating app for, I don't know how long, so 6 months or some shit, maybe longer.
Yeah, it's been a hot
It's been a hot minute. I'm proud of my fucking self, and I don't want to go back on that shit because I'm much happier alone with my friends, with my dogs. I don't need no damn man. I'm an independent bitch. It is. Okay, so now we're gonna actually speak on the topic today that we're discussing, and that is we're discussing societal expectations. Yeah. For us, we're both plus size women, and we're taller too. I'm 6'1", and you're like 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10", 5'11".
So just being, plus size and tall, like, is already like something that it's already hard being in society like that because we can barely find clothes half the friggin' time. We have a struggle like all the time finding shoes, finding clothes. Like, it's crazy.
Not really you can find clothes, but the problem is finding clothes that fits your style.
Yeah, or just looks cute in general.
Yeah, because most of the plus size clothing that you do come across that I've come across are either, made for someone who looks like they live on the fucking prairie. I'm sorry, but that's what it looks like. Either that, or it looks like, something your grandma would wear, or your mama's mama, or, I mean, not your mama's mama, but, your mama. Like, it looks
older
like
people.
Yeah, it looks like something the older generation would wear, and I'm sorry, that's not my style.
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of options for plus size people, so it's like, they just
You can go to, like, Torrid or Lane Bryant, Ashley Stewart. You could go to all those places, but then you look at the price tag on those clothes, and it's
crazy.
Just makes you
It's
so
expensive.
disgusted. And like, how pricey some of this stuff really is. And it's like, yeah, you could go look online for I think it's like, you could go to Poshmark or Depop or whatever, because those are places where you can find clothes for a little bit cheaper, but it's still not that much. And then you have to, when you're buying online, it's hard to know what's going to fit your body type and what's going to look good on you. I'd rather try it out in person to see if I really like it before I buy it.
Definitely.
But when it comes to shopping for clothes, I get so in my head, I feel like I get kind of in a way depressed for that time frame, because I'm just it's either I find something I really like that looks good on me, or everything else I try on that I think is so cute and it looks the worst on my body type. The worst. And I sit there and I want to cry, because I'm just why? Why is it the things I really like does not look good on me?
Yeah, and that's unfortunately our society that we live in. They expect you to be really tiny, and if you're not tiny and you don't fit into that box, then they're not really gonna have life working. I don't know how to explain it. They're not gonna have the clothes for you. They're not gonna have the shoes for you. They're not gonna have, they're going to have this perspective of, oh, this is how you're supposed to look, and if you don't look that way, you're not going to fit into society, which is okay, because I don't want to fit into society. I want to be me, and if that means that I don't fit into a box that you made, I don't fucking care. And then I also have experience, being a smaller girl, and I used to be really fucking tiny.
You used to be really skinny when I met you.
Yeah, I used to be able to fit into everything.
So skinny.
I remember I went to Forever 21 and I did a shopping spree, and almost everything that I tried on fit me. But now that I've gained so much weight after experiencing dating, with these men have literally fucked me up mentally. And then COVID, of course, wasn't good for any of us, and so many other things. And of course, I'm not trying to blame that on why I gained weight. Sheba. Anyway.
I apologize in advance for her craziness.
She's crazy. Anyways, she's trying to say hello. She said hello.
She said hello.
Hello, Safe Space Podcast.
Hello.
But anyway,
Funny.
for me, like experiencing both sides, I see that it is much harder being a plus size woman in this world because now that I've tried on things, a lot of things don't fit me, and it really sucks, and it's really like depressing sometimes. And then of course, you know, you see like pictures of like models and stuff like that, and most, you know, of course, still most models are smaller, but thankfully today we are coming, like more plus size models are coming out and
I
being
feel like
themselves.
there's only been, you know, one that I've seen that has a very similar body type to me, but at the same time, no. Like certain things about, like, you know, her body reminds me of how, like, you know, my body could look if I started losing like some more weight or whatever. But it's also like, I feel like everyone's body is different. Everyone experiences, like, you know, when it comes to weight loss, everyone's not going to have the same, you know,
the same experience because everyone's body is different.
Yeah.
Everyone's body is shaped differently. But at the end of the day, it's really hard being different in this society, not only when it comes to being, you know, over, like being a plus size woman and being taller, but also just fitting into the stereotypes of like, you know, you need to have kids by the time you're 30 years old. Like, I definitely don't see myself having kids now that I've experienced what I've experienced, because it's just not for me, and I'm not gonna like change who I am or what I want out of life just to fit society's stereotypes of like what we should be doing. And then of course, you know, having the career and having, you know, the family, like it's all like what people think you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have the white picket fence. Like, I don't want that. I want to be able to like live my life in the way that I want to live it. I want to be able to travel when I want to and not have to like solely have to worry about like my children. I mean, if you have children, that's great, and I'm happy for you, but at the end of the day, everyone has their own decisions, and that shouldn't be like pushed upon you. And like, I feel like a lot of families and just people in general are like kind of forcing that upon us. Like, oh, you don't have kids yet, oh, you don't have a career yet. You know, when you go to your family gatherings, they're like, what's the first thing you hear? You hear them say, oh, how's your job, like what are you doing for work, what are you like, do you have you met anybody? Like, it's always those questions, and I'm like, can't you just get to know me as a person?
I remember growing up and going to like my like family's like Thanksgivings or like Christmases, whatever, and like, you know, you always have the same like couple of people who are like, well, how are you? Like, do you have anyone? Like, have you met someone? Or like what do you do for like work now and all this and that? And I'm just like, why is it your business? Like,
Exactly.
I do what I want to do, and then you and your family can do what you want to do. Like, and I never felt like I fit in with that side of the family either.
Yeah.
Because everyone is like out in a relationship or they're having kids or whatever, and I'm just like, that's great on them, but like, I was like, I didn't think I was ready for like the longest time. And I'm gonna be honest, like, I was in my 20s, like later 20s, before I really started dating anyone, to be honest.
Same.
Because I was like, you know, trying to figure out life after high school, trying to figure out like, you know, different things.
Yeah.
I felt like I was forced to go to college right out of high school. Bad decision, because I was like, you know, I messed around a lot and did not do the work I needed to do to, you know, get the career that I should have gotten. Like, I should have stayed headstrong and just pushed through, but and at the end of the day, it's nothing I wanted to do with my life to begin with.
Yeah,
so.
and you didn't know what you wanted to do. Like, me either. Like, when you are first getting out of high school, like, everyone thinks that you're supposed to have this, like, career made up already.
No,
very
it's like, you shouldn't. You should figure that out as you go. Because, like, what if you're, like, forced into something and then you're wasting all of that money on school and then, like, you know, you're not happy with it.
Exactly. And that's why I believe, like, we should be experiencing different jobs or different career paths before we make the decision to go to college for something, because a lot of people waste their money on a college degree and then end up not even using that degree because they're not happy with that job. Like, I went to community college and I got a general studies like associate's degree, and yes, like I could use that for like whatever degree I wanted, but like at the same time, did I even use it? No. It was like a waste of money, a waste of time when I could have been focused on something that I was actually genuinely interested in. And I think with that, it's because of societal pressures to go to college, to, you know, figure out what you're supposed to do. And when you're that young, you don't know what you're supposed to do. And then not only that, but like when you are like that young, if you have kids, right, as soon as you're like old enough, like 18, 17, 16.
I had girls in my high school, like when I was in school, they were having them at 16 years old.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, at the end of the day, that's your decision, and everyone has the right to make their own decisions, but at the same time, when you do that, you're not able to really live your life because you're so focused on your children. So it's like really hard. I can't imagine what that feels like to have a child at that young. I'm 31 years old right now, and I still don't really genuinely know like if I would ever want kids because I still like have so much I need to focus on myself, career wise, and just getting my life to where I want it to be in order to like be happy with like myself. So it's like those people haven't even had a chance to really focus on themselves, get to know themselves, like see what their like genuine interests are.
And for me, like I know we're going back to the whole weight thing, but it's like growing up, I was always told, oh, you would be a knockout if you were like smaller or something, or I would have to beat the boys off with a bat if you like lost some weight or something. And I'm just like, why does it matter? Like, why does it matter what size I am? Because you can be big and beautiful at the same time.
You can.
And I'm like, so
and we are testify that.
Yes, and I'm like, so why does it matter? But then as I've gotten older, like I feel like people have shut up less and less about it because I'm like, I really don't care. Like I will like literally bite your head off if you say something to me about my weight. Like I know I'm big. And
you're big and beautiful.
I'm big and beautiful, bitch.
And so am I.
And I'm just like, I don't like the, you know, the negative like mindset behind, you know, being plus size.
Exactly.
And
it's beautiful.
There's
and
like other people that are like, oh, you should, like, I just want to be. Like it kills me when there's like other girls out there that are I know for a fact smaller than me, and they're like, oh, I need to lose so much weight, I'm so fat, and I'm just like, you're standing right beside me, and I'm a big ass bitch too, so BFFR.
Yeah, for real.
I'm just like, you think you're fat, bitch? I'm fatter. Like, I know everyone has like, you know, a negative like mind. Like
to
and
an extent, yeah.
They really criticize themselves. I criticize myself.
We are our
like,
biggest critics, for sure.
So I'm like, I get it where they're coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like people should also realize they're also standing next to someone that's bigger than them, who has like worse thoughts than what they probably do. You know?
Yeah, in a way, I get where you're coming from, but also, I remember when I was like smaller, I still thought that I was big. I don't know why. But like, you know, you even have like this little amount of fat and you're like, oh my God, it's like the worst thing in the world. It's like really weird how like, you know, our perspective of ourselves is so different than what other people see us as. Like, you know, when I look at you, I think you're like gorgeous. But then like when you think of yourself, like of course you think you're beautiful sometimes, but like of course we sometimes degrade ourselves and we're like, oh, like I wish I didn't look this way, I wish I wasn't this tall, I wish this and that. Like, of course we're going to think those things, but at the end of the day, if only we could see ourselves through other people's eyes, especially the people that love us, like, then we wouldn't be so critical of ourselves.
Because trust me, like, if I had the opportunity, I would be like, yep, I have a pair of scissors, let me cut this part off, let me cut that part off, like, whatever. Like, there are still things about myself that I don't like, but I'm working to overcome those things, too. And then also, like, I feel like my family, in a way, I don't know. I feel like in a way it's kind of like peer pressure because they're like, oh, when are you going to start having kids? Like, when are you going to give me grandchildren? Like, my mom was like one of those big, like, one of the people like that. It's like, soon as I turned 22, she's like, oh, when am I going to get a grandchild? Because she had me when she was 22. So the fact that I didn't live up to like the way her life worked
The
out for her.
expectations, yeah.
So I was
But
like,
you're living a completely different life.
So
you're a
I'm just
completely
like,
different person.
I think she was a little bit jealous of the fact that, like, as soon as I turned 22 and I didn't have any of that going for me, she's like, I felt like she still feels somewhat jealous of the way I'm, like, living my life because her life is so much different than mine.
But everybody makes certain decisions, so it's like, for you to think that, you know, we're supposed to make the same decisions as you, just because you're our parent doesn't mean that we have to make those decisions. Like, we are our own people. We make our own decisions, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make myself happy. So I think it's just crazy how people just expect things from you. And I know it's like a societal thing, and like you see so many people doing this, you see so many people starting families, having careers, but like what if that isn't for me? Maybe I want to get in a van and travel around the fucking world like I wanted to do for so long, and like make videos on YouTube. Like that's what I want to do. And I know what's important to me, and it's about spreading like a positive message. Because I feel like we need this and that in this world, and I feel like we don't have it enough because most people aren't willing to speak up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're talking about important things like this because I feel like some people need to hear it in order to relate and be like, oh my God, I'm not the only person. And you're not. If you're experiencing what it feels like to think like that you don't fit into societal's like expectations or that you're not good enough, and in reality you are good enough.
You definitely are.
And if you know, like, your self-worth and you know that you are your own person and you can do whatever you want in life, and if you're proud of yourself, that's all that matters. I don't care what anyone else says. If you believe it within your fucking heart that you are doing what's right for you, then fuck what the haters say, like Taylor Swift says, and do what you gotta do to make yourself happy. I don't care what other people think. Do what you gotta do. Because, you know, did we think our families would be supportive of us moving to Florida like we did? Nope. But guess what? We used that $200 paycheck we both had and got ourselves here and made this shit happen. Now, y'all can do it too. Just gotta believe. If we can do it, so can you.
Exactly.
But I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about your perspective and what you want to do with your life, you know?
Yes.
So.
I do believe that. Very, very much so.
Forget about what other people say.
But, okay, so this kind of coincides with the whole, like, societal standards and stuff as women. I feel like we have to fit within a certain, like, bracket of things that, you know, you expect from women. You expect us to be emotional, but not too emotional.
Yup. You can say that again.
They expect you to be tender, soft, sweet, and then the moment you start acting crazy, they look at you like, what is wrong with this person?
Yeah.
You know? You have to not
like
only be a caretaker, but you have to do so many other things. You have to be nurturing. You have to, like, what is it? I wrote it down, so sorry. I'm going to look at my phone real quick. But I had this whole list of things. I was like, damn, like, that really... I really feel this because I'm like, why? Like, why? We have to provide care and support. We have to be polite. We have to be accommodating. Not only that, but, like, we have to be, I guess, like, what is it? We have to have, like, sexual fidelity, which I'm not 100% sure what that means, so I'm going to come back to that.
Like, pretty much a virgin. You have to,
No, I don't think that's what that is.
Well, isn't fidelity... when you
maybe that means, like, you know, when you're with someone you have to, like,
be like loyal.
Yeah.
But also I think that coincides with like not being like a hoe or a slut or just dating around. Like if you think about it,
faithfulness to a person, cause, or belief. So
basically they expect you to, like, you know, be only with them, but in reality they don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, the problem is that you could be so loyal to this person, and then they turn around and they do what you, like, they
do the exact opposite of what you do.
Yeah, like, they go and fuck around with someone else or talk to someone else or something. And
like, everything you did for them didn't even fucking matter.
Exactly. And it's just, it sucks.
It does.
But then, not only that, okay, but they expect you to be sensitive, and I guess it kind of coincides with being emotional.
Yeah, in a way.
In a way. but then like you have to have empathy, and then all of these other things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like, you know, when women are supposed to have this like stereotype of being strong. They're supposed to be like, you know, the support system kind of like of the family, like, because the women in a relationship like
But go back to what you were saying.
oh.
Let me fix this real quick. Okay. You're good.
I don't know where I left off.
Basically,
So yeah, so women are supposed to be like the backbone of the family, pretty much. Like, yes, the husband goes out, he should be the one out there like providing financially, but so the woman should also, not only does the woman have to cook and clean and then take care of the children, but she also has to work a job, take care of her fucking self, deal with her mental health. She has to also make sure the husband is eating and, you know, whatever else. Like, there's so much that it has to do like with, and it's like so stressful, and then they expect women to not, you know,
be upset.
yeah,
And to not have like emotional outbursts and stuff like that. Like, I'm sorry, it's a lot of pressure on women.
It is.
And not to say that it's not a lot of pressure on men, because I know we're not trying to downgrade men at all. We're just talking about our experiences. And I know men go through societal pressures with having to feel like you can't be emotional, that you have to stay strong, that you have to go to work and like be the provider. But at the end of the day, and that, like, not only that, but growing up, I'm sure with being a kid, like, you're taught that, hey, like, you can't show emotions, and, you know, everyone's like pretty much gonna pick on you, or
but that's
like
the exact
whatever.
opposite. I feel
And
like
that's where the ego of like the toxic masculinity comes from. It's because men feel like they can't be emotional, so then they take it out on their partner. And it's just not right. And then at the end of the day, like, these gender roles that we are putting on each other based off of like society's stereotypes is pretty much making men and women hate each other. And it's just not right. And like, we have to like speak out about it, because it's not right for like anyone to make you feel like you have to be a certain type of way. Like with women, like, we are going back to what you were saying, how, you know, if a woman has an emotional outburst and like is really like upset about, you know, all the pressure she's being put on, like having put on her, people look at you like you're fucking crazy. Like, you have a mental fucking issue.
And then not only that, but sometimes like you could be in like whatever relationship, like you might have a man that you're in a relationship with, and they're not picking up, like, you know, they're not helping you out the way they should as well. Like, you could be doing all of this, you could be taking care of the house, the food, the kids, like the pets, whatever, and then like you have to do the laundry, like wash, fold, dry, whatever, and then cleaning the house. Like, it's a lot of work. And then when you have a husband or a partner that doesn't help out, like,
and then they still expect more out of you,
and then expect the most.
and like, I'm sure you've experienced, you know, that with your like partners and stuff, but you know, I've also experienced it, so we both know what that feels like. And it's just not a good feeling when someone tells you that you're not doing enough.
And then you don't feel appreciated.
No, not at all. And
do.
it's like all the shit you do, cleaning the house. If you don't know.
Like, I'm not a mother.
Yeah.
Like, not a mother yet. But I'm just like, you know, I couldn't imagine dealing with that and then everything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
It is a lot. And I actually, you know, had an ex where he had 2 kids, and basically, you know, all of that was put on me. I went from being a single woman to like having a relationship, at which I did not have really long relationships at all. And this was like the longest I ever had. It was almost a year, but I ended up moving in with him. He had 2 kids that were, you know, 6 and 7. And basically I was told that, you know, I needed to step up and be like somewhat of a mother to them. And basically, like,
I don't know how he expected you to do all of that.
Yeah, it was a lot of work for me. It was not only a shock to have children in the house and having to take care of them nonstop, but then also the fact that I was in a relationship with someone where I couldn't show like my emotions towards him because there was a lot going on. Basically,
There's a lot to the story.
There's a lot to the story. I'm not going to go all into it, but basically it was to the point that the kids couldn't know that, you know, we were together. So it was like all that weighing on me having to take care of the kids, but also I was paying half of the rent, pretty much half of the rent, and going to work as a waitress every night, or actually it was every morning. Sometimes I would work nights too, but it was a lot for me. And the fact that I was told after cleaning the house nonstop, doing laundry, fucking like giving the kids like emotional like love and stuff.
And then the moment you needed to, like, you know, do something for you, it seemed like it was a problem.
Yeah, as soon as, like, I wanted to focus on myself a little bit, it was a problem. And I was told, you know, you're not doing enough. You need to step up. And, you know, if you don't, then, you know, it's not going to work out. And I'm like, okay, like, now looking back at it, like, I was being so, like, nice and, like, genuine, and, like, I wanted to make it work with him. But now that I think about it, like, damn, like, I should have stuck up for myself.
I would have been like, nope, bye.
Yeah, for real. I should have been like, peace out. Guess what? Because I could have left your ass hanging, having to pay all the fucking bills, having to work an extra fucking job, having to do all this other stuff. And what did I do? Fucking be nice, try to help him, and then what does he do? Cheat on me. So, like, isn't that fun? And then, you know, I'm not gonna go into it too much because, you know, it's a whole nother thing. But if you watching, you know, fuck you. So I don't give a fuck. But I'm gonna speak up for myself for now on, and all those experiences that I went through, like being degraded by men, being told that I wasn't enough, has made me this self-confident motherfucker. Like, I'm a bad bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. I'm gonna be me. And like, I'm very confident within myself now, and I'm so proud of myself for getting through those tough times. And
I feel like we still have days where we kind of struggle with that.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah, there's gonna be days that you're gonna struggle.
From knowing Sierra from 8 years ago to the Sierra I know now, completely different person.
Yeah.
Like, completely different.
I definitely see it too.
Yeah, like,
How am I
do.
different?
You're just like, I don't know, you're just way more confident. You definitely are. You don't look for validation too much in anyone.
Nope.
Like, you'll be like, oh, like, I know you sometimes be like, oh, does this look okay? I'm like, yeah, that looks great. But as far as everything else, the Sierra from, like, long ago, she would never go out the house looking like a fucking bum.
I was looking like a bum this morning.
She would have never gone out the house looking the way she does sometimes.
Not at all.
Hair, like, all over the place. Like,
I got a rat's nest in my hair. I roll out of bed. I got mascara all over my goddamn face. But guess what? I'm like, bitch, you ready to go? She would be like, oh, aren't you gonna get ready? I'm like, I'm ready, bitch. I rolled out the bed, didn't I? That's enough. Because who the fuck am I trying to impress?
Exactly. That's what she does now, and I'm just like, I love that for her because she used to never be that way.
I used to take probably 2 hours to get ready. I used to take showers every day.
I remember that because you'd be like, oh, there was one time when we were like, oh, we're gonna go do something. So we told you 2 hours ahead of the time, like before we were gonna go. Girl. So that way you got time to, like, you had time to get ready.
Yeah.
And because I was like, but at one point I was like, girl, you're just doing
it took me an hour, 2 hours, because I would take a shower, moisturize, all that bullshit. And then, of course, which moisturizing is good and do it, but like at the same time, like
still
I would
take a shower.
Yeah, of course, do those things, but you don't have to like do your makeup every day. You don't have to like look a certain type of way to go out into society. Like, just because they expect you to look all pretty all the fucking time, bitch. Who the fuck am I trying to impress? The only person I'm trying to impress is my damn self, and I think I'm doing damn fucking good. So like at the end of the day, like I want somebody that loves me for who I am, and if a man doesn't like me for like the way that I look when I roll out of bed, that's too damn bad, because you gonna see it, bitch. I ain't gonna be wearing no damn makeup to bed. I tell you fucking that. I might wear my mascara though. That's the one thing I have to wear, because I just love the way it makes my little eyes look. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going out into society looking for anyone. I know that I'm enough, and I don't need to like please anybody. And you don't have to do that either. You don't have to look a certain type of way. And if a bitch got something to fucking say, bitch say, I don't give a fuck what you got to fucking say. Because
fuck with you.
I don't fuck with you little stupid ass bitch. I ain't fucking with you. And at the end of the day, who gives a fuck what people think about you? And if they ain't serving you, bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You're funny.
And that's another one. Thank you so much. You funny too.
Thank you.
You gonna see our funny side.
I try.
But I think it's good to point out that you just gotta like love yourself. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, love yourself, love yourself. And at the end of the day, you can only do that. No one else can make you see how beautiful you are until you look in the mirror.
Don't go looking for validation from a man either.
No, not at all. And also,
Don't do that.
don't let your body be the reason that you feel more confident. Who you are on the inside is what really matters. And that's what I've learned overall, is my soul is who I am. This body does not represent who I am. Yes, I might try to like look a certain type of way to represent who I feel like I am, but at the end of the day, if you're beautiful
just
on the inside, that's enough. I don't care if you look like the fucking Grinch stole Christmas, bitch. I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, his damn little heart grew. And yours can too, honey. But I think that's pretty much all. There's probably more that we can discuss. There's probably more that we can discuss on this topic, but I think we've covered quite a lot on this. So now we can actually do our little game, which is gonna be fun.
I don't know if I would even call it a game.
Well, it's not really. Okay, yes, it's not a game. We're gonna do our last segment of today. And it's called Am I the Asshole? If you've ever heard about it.
It's a subreddit.
The subreddit.
I love Reddit.
And I just
stories up there.
I just now discovered Reddit not too long ago because I never really like got into it because I didn't know what it was. But it's got a lot on there.
There's a good community of people up there.
Yeah, like if anything you're interested in, you can go on there and be like, okay, like there's other people that feel this way, and it kind of helps you like relate to other people.
Yeah.
But I think this is fun, and it's kind of funny to like hear different stories.
I might put on my glasses though for this because I need to read.
Yeah, I get that.
So.
Okay, Miss Smarty Girl, Miss Librarian. Okay. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
I can start.
Okay.
So this one is: Am I the asshole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she made a scene at my engagement party?
Oh damn.
Yeah.
That's real shit.
So the story is, last year at my engagement party, my sister, who has a history of being the center of attention, made a scene. Despite knowing that my fiance and I wanted a low-key celebration, she loudly complained about the venue, the food, and even our decision to have a child-free event, which upset several guests and overshadowed the occasion. We tried to calm her down and asked her privately to respect our wishes, but she accused us of excluding her and being selfish. Given this, my fiance and I decided to not invite her to our wedding to prevent a similar situation. We want our wedding day to be peaceful and focused on celebrating our love without any drama. However, when she found out she wasn't invited, she was devastated and reached out to family members to say how hurt she was, making me out to be the bad guy. Now our parents are pressuring us to reconsider, saying family should be together on such occasions and that excluding her could cause irreparable damage to our relationship. I feel torn because I understand the importance of family, but I also believe our wedding day should be about us and not managing potential disruptions. So am I the asshole for choosing to exclude her to keep our wedding day drama free?
What do you think?
I don't think the person is an asshole. I totally get it.
Yeah. I agree with you because I feel like if it's your wedding, then you get to choose how it's gonna be.
You shouldn't be stressed out on like a big day like that.
Yeah.
It's already enough stress to like kind of go through that whole like process because you have to worry about like so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about weddings, but I've heard it's a lot.
Yeah. It seems like a lot.
Because you have to have so many different things. Like you have to make sure like your flowers, your cake, like your groomsmen, your like bridesmaids, like all of those people, you have to make sure that everything's going as it should. And if something happens, it can throw off the entire thing.
Literally.
So it's like you're already stressed out about like how the ceremony and stuff is going to go. And then if you have someone there that's going to disrupt it, that's also another stress factor that should not happen. Like you should have someone, like if you were to have invited the person, you know, you should have someone there that could kind of like keep them like quiet, keep them from causing a scene.
But it's also hard to control people
and
children in reality. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, a wedding is about you and your partner. It's not about anybody else. And anybody that makes it about themselves is just selfish.
Yeah,
because it's not their day, it's your day. And like, I don't really know how I feel about weddings and stuff like that, because I'm not as traditional anymore, because I don't really know how I feel. But like, if you do get married, like I do feel like, you know, it shouldn't be about anybody else.
It's like, I support whoever wants to do it, but yeah, it's not about everyone else. It's literally just for you and your partner.
And let your feelings get hurt. That's how I fucking feel at this point in my life. I'm tired of being a little people pleaser. I've been a people pleaser my whole fucking life, and I'm tired of fucking doing it. If something upsets you, that's too goddamn bad, because bitch, I'm gonna live my life regardless, because I'm not doing it intentionally to hurt you. But if you feel some type of way, that's on you. And I can't control how you fucking feel.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I feel like you're gonna disrupt my wedding, I'm not gonna fucking invite you. Because...
Or that's to anything, honestly.
To anything.
Like,
anything in life.
Yes. If it could be anything that, you know, that you're celebrating something that you've accomplished or whatever. And then if you know there's one person that might be disruptive and make the entire thing about themselves, is like, what's the point?
Exactly.
Like,
or just in general in life, like you could do something like, for instance, dyeing your fucking hair. Oh, like, I'm so upset that you dyed your pretty brown hair. Like, bitch, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's my fucking hair. Is you gonna be the one waking up with blue hair every fucking day? No, you ain't.
No.
But I will, and I'm gonna fucking love it every damn second. And will. But at the end of the day, people try to control your life. Don't let them control your life. It's your life, honey. And if, you know, it's something that's important to you and somebody could fuck that up, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Again.
Yeah. All right. So you have a story for us today?
Yes, I do. Actually, I have two.
You have two?
Yes. I don't know if I'm going to do both, but we'll see.
Well, I was looking some up last night, and I was like, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I don't know which one to choose. So
it's
I just
hard
stuck
to choose.
With one.
Yeah. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, I have one where it's, am I the asshole for telling my wife to stop buying me gifts? So my wife buys me gifts for the typical holidays. Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day. Usually it's stuff that I just won't use or knick-knack junk. Once in a blue moon, she finds a cool knick-knack, but the rest are honestly worthy of little more of anything more than just the trash can. Like, I guess to be thrown away. Okay. Which is kind of an asshole thing to say.
This is starting to sound like, you know,
someone that's ungrateful.
Yeah.
Okay, also, so fast forward to today. Valentine's Day, I bought her chocolate and flowers and a perfume that she had previously mentioned she wanted to try. Easy win. She gets me a skin spa day, ... Now, I get it. There are plenty of guys who would go to the spa and enjoy it. It's just not something I'm interested in or would ever go to. Well, apparently, I'm the asshole, because when she asked me when I did... Well, apparently, I'm the asshole, because when she asked me when I make an appointment, I told her I didn't know when I would... Sorry. I told her I didn't know when I would, and it's not really something I'm interested in doing. We both have busy lives, so time comes at a premium price. I'm further the asshole because I've repeatedly asked her to stop buying me gifts because they either don't get used and take up space or they go into the trash. To me, it doesn't make sense to use money buying things that just get thrown away. Am I the asshole?
Honestly, it seems like he's kind of a prick. Like, he should be grateful that his wife wants to buy him anything.
That's what I'm fucking saying. I get it. to the point of like, okay, like you feel like she's wasting money and you could be using that money for other things that are important. But I also see like, okay, you have somebody that's loves you enough to buy you something and you're not willing to fucking like be appreciative of it.
Okay, like if it's a knick-knack that's gonna sit and collect dust, like I kind of get it, but at the same time it's like she went out of her way to think about something to buy for you.
Exactly.
And like put a little bit of thought into it. And I think honestly buying like, you know, paying for a man to have like a spa day
is so sweet.
Is a great thing. That's a sweet thing.
That
And
is
they can
sweet.
be expensive.
Yeah.
Those things are expensive. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna use it. Bitch, fucking use it and get over yourself.
Fucking use it. And don't be acting like, you know, you're too manly to go to a damn spa day. Get your fucking little nasty ass feet in that goddamn in that damn water and get you a damn rinse, because I'm sure you fucking need it. But let me stop being a bitch. But anyway, like my thought process on this is like, I get it. Someone's like, you feel is wasting money on you and you're not going to use it, and in that way I guess like I get that. But like someone genuinely just giving you something and like I feel like someone just giving you a gift in general is like a nice thing to do, and it's just the thought behind it that matters. And it's like, for me, for instance, I haven't had like a lot of men buy me anything. Like the only thing that I've gotten really is like flowers and chocolates every now and then from like a random fucking guy. But like more than that, like anything more than that I haven't really gotten. So like just the thought is what counts to me, and like just the thought behind, oh, I'm gonna go buy this person a gift is like what to me is like what's the like that is what means the most to me. And I think he should be more appreciative of her putting that thought behind getting him a gift, because she could just be like, oh no, I'm not gonna get you anything, I'm just gonna lay on the couch and, you know, not go to the store and buy you anything, because you know what, fuck it, like I don't want to get you no damn gifts, I don't want to spend the money on it. But she used her own money and got you a gift, so suck it up, buttercup, and fucking be happy about the damn gift you got, because otherwise you could be alone and not get any fucking gifts. And not get no lovin', because I'm McLovin'.
No pizza for you.
But a piece of this. If you watched my little tour in Florida, you would know.
Yes.
So go check that video.
But okay, so here's my thing. Her love language could be gift giving.
Exactly.
My love language is gift giving, but also like I feel like I have multiple like love languages, but I love like getting a gift for someone and seeing their reaction and all of this other stuff.
True.
And I think it's like, you know, the sentimental value behind it is that like even with my relationship now, I know we've had our like, you know, our differences and stuff, and we've had like a little in between thing. We didn't know really what was going on, but at the end of the day, he still has like everything I've ever given him. And it's been almost 5 years.
Because it's sentimental.
Yeah, like he still has the cards that I've given him. He still has like, there was like this little jar that I made for him, and it has like little heart cutouts for reasons I love him. When I like, he still has that, and he keeps it in his car.
And that shows that he does care.
Yeah, and
ways,
like
so
he also
that's
has
good.
like, what else is it? Like he has like different pictures of me from like different times in our lives. He keeps them in his wallet, or he'll have like a little picture on his dash or
Well,
something.
that's a good sign that he does that. But when it comes down to it, I feel like for this situation, he should just tell his wife what he wants her to get him, so then she doesn't get him knickknacks and shit. And that's gonna be like, you know, the easy way to resolve the situation.
Thing is that when you ask a guy or whoever you're with, when you ask them like, hey, like what would you like for this occasion? They're like, oh, I don't know. Like, I hate that response.
Well, what's the thing that most men want? A fucking video game. Most of them. So, like, get them a video game. But anyway.
then they're going to complain about the one game that you get them like, oh, I don't like this game.
Well, then get
something.
over it.
Okay, well, I'll fucking return it and use that money myself.
For
then.
real, though.
Like,
point blank period. And will. Okay, so I'm also going to do the last one because I feel like it would be a good one, too.
Sounds good.
Because this is a situation that I kind of went through.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Am I the asshole for wanting to pay my parents less rent to progress my life? So, it's not too long, but I'm currently living at my parents' house, male, 30, wanting to move out and progress my life, but I have no car in order to move out or to get a better job. I currently work a minimum wage job and get paid a little bit more than minimum wage. I try to save my money in order to buy a car, but my parents have been charging me rent and bills. My parents have been charging me rent and bills since I turned 18, and he's now 30. And it has always been more than what I can save. Even when I got a raise in pay, my parents would raise my rent. Now that I am 30, I feel absolutely stuck with my parents. My girlfriend, bless her, is helping me out tremendously with rides and helping pay for our meals. I'm trying to move in with my girlfriend's family where I can afford to stay and save money, but I need a car to live and keep my job. My girlfriend encouraged me to speak with my parents. I'm the black sheep of my family, and I try very hard to not bother my family with my problems. My 3 older sisters, on the other hand, do ask my parents for help when needing something. Sorry, I keep fucking up. My 3 older sisters, on the other hand, do ask my parents for help when needed, making me think that my parents are already stressed out and I shouldn't add to it. I did indeed ask my parents to help me out with something. I was hoping for a reduced cost of rent or bills, but all I got was a half-assed motivational speech about getting a second job to raise enough money to get a car. Most jobs that I have been applying to recommend to have a car or in another city where public transportation isn't so reliable. My sisters all have new cars, and my parents either helped them out with money or are co-signing. If I had a car, I would be able to work more hours and work further away from home, which most jobs in the city would pay more than the town that I live in. On another note, I just revitalized my credit score and now I'm around 720. But I have no money saved up to buy a car. I'm seriously at a loss for guidance, and I have gone to people I looked up to the most for help, only to be given more doubt and stress. So please let me know. Am I the asshole for not wanting to pay rent and bills to my parents in order to move out and progress my life with my girlfriend? To anyone who read this, thank you for your time. Sincerely, yes. Okay, is he the asshole?
No.
I don't think he is either.
I really don't think so.
I get the fact that his parents want to charge him rent because, like, it's their house, it's their electricity, it's their water.
Okay.
But I get it to an extent. I think, you should make them pay a little bit. It doesn't hurt to help.
Or, here's another thing I was thinking, because I have heard of these situations where, like, they'll charge you for rent, but they're putting that money into a savings account, so when you do move out, they'll give you that money.
Wouldn't that be nice?
So that would have been so nice and so helpful.
It would be, but unfortunately some parents are greedy, some fucking people are greedy.
Yeah.
Not to name any names, but I dealt with the same situation, and I was paying like $500 to $600 in rent every month, along with other little bills that I had, while I'm trying to save, while only working like 4 to 5 days at like Starbucks, and like it wasn't enough where I was like living and stuff, and I barely had enough for food. Everything's expensive these days. Like I didn't have enough to like save up, so I get where he's coming from, and I get the fact that you're trying to like get yourself somewhere because being 30, you're ready to like progress your life. You're ready to start doing things that you want to do with your life. And when your parents are just expecting all this money out of you, like, be so for real, because why would you do that to your kid? If I was a parent, I would never do that to my child. I would be like, okay, listen, I would like a little help here and there, but I don't expect you to pay all this money for rent.
Exactly.
Because I want the best for you. At the end of the day, if you're someone's parent, like, I would never make my child do that shit. And if you want the best for your child, don't make them do all that. Like, if you've got enough money to take care of yourself, or even can make it work, like, you should do the right thing.
But unfortunately, I do feel like as long as he keeps on paying bills and paying for all of this stuff, that he'll never be able to get out.
Exactly. And not only that, but I will say that a minimum wage job is not going to get you as far as you think it will.
It's not.
You need to have a job. Honestly, in this society, I think $20 an hour is honestly the lowest you should fucking go, unless you have additional help from other people.
It is hard to find those types of jobs.
Yeah, it is. If you have someone else helping you.
Or experience, yeah.
Yeah, if you have a degree and experience, of course you could do that. But I feel like if you do have someone helping you, of course, you know, it does make it easier. But unfortunately in this world, like, I feel like minimum wage jobs aren't going to do it. At least alone, at least. But
It's not.
you unfortunately sometimes have to work 2 jobs. Sometimes you gotta donate plasma like we freaking did. Like, we probably have donated plasma around, do you think, like 50 to 100 times?
God, I don't even know how many times.
Way
It
too many
feels like
times.
it.
We were struggling so much, like, in the past, and, you know, not to put this on anybody, but, like, you know, we had to do what we had to do. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, in this society, we do have to worry about money. We do have to, like, work in order to survive unless you find another way. But at the end of the day, you know, sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do. And if you really want to
And
get out
that's
of...
the unfortunate reality of it.
And if you really want to get out of the situation you're in, the best thing you can do is focus and do the things you got to do, even if they're like something you don't want to do, just to get yourself to the next step. Because that's what we had to do, and we have made it so far, and we're still trying to get there. But you know, it takes time, and it's not going to come overnight. But if you push yourself and you tell yourself, okay, this is what I want out of life, and you stay determined and you believe in yourself, like, you can do anything.
And I feel like with that person's situation, like, he shouldn't be afraid to speak up.
No,
like,
not
because
at
a
all.
lot of things, like, you know, go unsaid because people are afraid to speak up on how they feel.
Unfortunately.
So,
and a lot of it is because of money, because you're afraid, oh, like, I'm gonna get kicked out if I say something, or, you know, if I say something to my partner, they're not gonna want to be with me anymore. Like, when it comes down to it, you gotta do what's right for you. You can't be a people pleaser in this life. Like, at the end of the day, people
Everyone's out
pleasing
for
is
themselves.
Yeah, everybody's out for themselves, except for, you know, people that love each other, of course. Like, me and you are there for each other. Our friends are there for us. But then, of course, you know, unfortunately in this world, you have to, like, worry about money. And it's an unfortunate reality, but if you know what you want out of life, you just gotta, like, find a way. Because when there's a will, there's a way.
it is.
But, like, I'm proud of us for finally doing this podcast, and we're excited to have more videos like this.
Yeah.
We feel like you could relate to us by sharing our experiences with you. And we're excited to do that. And we're excited to also have fun on this channel, because we're going to play a couple of games.
Yeah, we'll do some game times and continue to do like the entertainment hours and stuff like that, different segments.
Exactly. And if you have any suggestions for our next topics in our videos, please leave them down below.
Down below.
And we cannot wait to see you in our next video. But until then, we love you guys. And take care.
Yes.
And signing off, the Safe Spaces Podcast. You want to say it again? And signing off, the Safe Space Podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night. Or good morning, wherever you are.